Hello, we are live. This is Lynn Serrano, and this is my partner in crime. You are?
I'm Sheryl Isenhour, and probably partner in crime pretty much covers it.
Yeah, the secret's out. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, and hello, Cheryl. I love our topic today. It's life at this moment. And
And my moments change moment by moment. So,
yeah, they do. And as a matter of fact, it's pretty funny because right before the show, you guys, we had a funny moment. Her phone rang, and when her phone rang, she's like, "Let me see who this is," and and I'm not going to reenact it, but I thought it was pretty funny how you got to the point with the person, right?
that's probably one really good thing about me that's really bad. I'm a disc assessor, so I'm a high D. I'm bullet pointing, and this guy wanted to chit chat about something I didn't want. I don't buy things offline, or well, I buy a lot of things offline, but not off the phone. And the moment wasn't right for this dude to call. Of course, if he had called after the show, it still wouldn't have been right. But yeah, I'm usually I'm not mean, but I'm very,
To the
I cut
point.
it short. I cut it really short because I don't want to waste mine and your time definitely here, or mine or his. I wasn't interested. So let's move on.
But I loved how you said it to him when he said, you said, "I'm getting ready to do a podcast." And he's like, "Well, can I call you after?" And he says, "Well, tell me, what did you say to him?" The verbiage was
Tell me, I
great.
said, tell me what it's about first. Who
And
you with and what it's about. And he told me. I didn't want that. So what would I want him to call me back? I had 30 seconds to ask the question. I saved him 10 minutes and me probably two of worrying about it. I'm
yeah,
done. Take me off your list. Let's go on with life.
yeah,
And that's what at the moment is. I see so many people, Lynn, and I know you do too, that they get pulled away into long conversations about stuff they're not interested in, and they're too afraid to tell the people, I'm not interested.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
I'd rather know you're not interested than sit there and talk to you for 10 minutes to realize you didn't want it. And if you take that 10 minutes and 10 minutes later and he cold called, I hate cold calls.
yeah,
Um, if you take 10 here and 10 here and 10 here, you've got an hour, then you've got a day.
yeah.
And I try not to be totally rude. I, but to the point, yeah. I don't sugarcoat a lot of things.
Well, I loved it though that you said to him, or when he says, "Well, should I call you back?" I said, "Well, tell me what this is, and I'll let you know if I want you to call me back." I thought that was so awesome, Cheryl. That was right to the point, concise, and so your face expressions were fabulous. But the fact that you said, "Let me know what you want to talk about right now, and I'll let you know if I want to hear from you later." I thought that was just perfect. So, welcome everyone, and I'm super excited because at this moment, like she said, everything, everything, and anything can change, but you can also just look at it positive or not. And so, I love that when we talk about life at this moment, we forget it's this moment that we're supposed to be talking about. We're not supposed to be talking about or dragging up yesterday, like I just asked her to do 5 minutes ago. It was funny. It was good to share. But if that was annoying, remember, don't go there then. Think of something else. And that's like in this conversation. If it did annoy Cheryl, she'd say, "Well, you know what? Yeah, that happened. Let's not talk about it." Again, it's the you don't need to feel like you need to give into a conversation you don't want to at this moment. You say, "Look, we're focusing on this moment, not 10 minutes ago." And
And
that
I'm not a news watcher. I probably should be. Again, another one of my faults. But I have a historian downstairs. I don't need to watch the news. All I need to do is ask Jerry. But I try not to watch a lot of things that I can't control, because I mean, I'm interested. Don't get me enough. I watch enough where the war that's
You're
going on over
informed.
there. I'm informed. But if there's something I can do, somebody please let me know because that's my expertise. Doing what I can do, not listening to what I can't do.
Right.
And so informed, yes, inform me in the moment, but I've got way too many hats going on to sit here and go on over and over with things. That's why I hate spam emails. You saw I hate cold calls with a passion. Um, there's just it's me, and I
Yeah.
try to live in the moment. I mean, I'm old enough at this point. You don't know how many more moments are out there, so why mess up the one that I'm going into? I mean, every second you breathe puts you in a different moment, and what's behind you is behind you. And you and I both coach. So we know people let what happened years ago control what's going on today
Yes.
instead of controlling it when it happened.
Right.
And that's what, when you talked about this, that's where I wanted in the moment to be. Work on the problems of the moment.
Right. And also know that just like the weather, this moment's going to change, and even if you're arguing with somebody's like, you know what? It's going to turn noon and somebody wants to go to lunch. This ain't going to last long. So just be in that moment and know, like everything does change moment by moment. So again, if you take a task or something you don't care to do, break it down to little pieces and then the compound effect. I love that book. I mean, it just says you got to take all these steps to get going, and sometimes I don't like all the steps necessary, so I'll be like, okay, let me fill in this, let me do this here or there, and yet next thing you know, you took and you got it done before. Hi, Michael, how are you? There's our regular supporter. We appreciate you. So again, it's one of those things where if we realize that it's only daunting because those are the thoughts you have about it, but you're like, oh, good, let me get this done, and then it's done, and you can move on to other parts of that you do enjoy doing. You know,
People think more about how to do things they don't want to do
than to think of what they want to do.
than just thinking of what they want to do. Get the things you don't want to do. I try again, try to get the things I want to do the least done first. And
Yeah.
at least the good stuff. I see that Deanna's joined us.
Yes, welcome, Deanna. And that's the thing is like everything fun we like to do, there's some parts of it that we don't like to do. But again, it's observe yourself, see what you like to do and what you don't like to do and say, okay, I don't care to do that, but it's part of the fun part that I get to do after I get that done. And it's all that mindset. And we could talk mindset all day, Sheryl, but to be honest is that when you get it, you get it, and when you don't get it, you don't get it. And it takes sometimes when you're down in the dumps or pain for and Jerry says this all the time, and I'll take from Jerry. He's always like, people don't change till they're in pain, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Mhm.
It's the don't wait till it gets so bad that you got to do something about it. Take the little bites out. And Rex always says that, you don't need to take massive actions either. Take little actions with your thoughts, and eventually it'll get done. And
And
I've had to learn that.
another thing, Lynn, people don't use the finer art of delegation.
Hmm.
I mean, if you don't like doing something and you have someone that can do it, delegate it to them because if they do it, it takes it off your plate. People don't figure out their self worth. They
Hmm.
don't. How much are you worth an hour?
Right.
Okay, if I'm doing a $10 task that takes me 3 hours to do,
You're losing
not
money.
good, losing money. And so, what people don't realize is their time's worth money if it's, especially if it's a business decision. And if it's something personal, if you hate it that much, you really may not have to do it.
Right.
It may just be something you think you need to do.
Well, it's funny you say this, and I should have asked you beforehand, but we're real and raw here, so I think you'll forgive me. But it's just like I remember. Shoot, it's been over a year ago. I remember that you were being a little stubborn. I'll call you out for what it is, but you were being stubborn at first. The idea of actually hiring somebody to help you. Now you're a year in. How do you feel about that? Share that, because seriously, your pride, I wouldn't say it was your pride, but your thing of like, well, I'm used to doing this myself. And then I got to train somebody and blah, 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 blah. But from there, then, and your pride and slash, I want to do everything, to where you're at now, share that really quick, because I think that'll be so insightful for people. And I know you were kind of sharing a little bit by what you were saying. So go ahead.
It's been a huge difference. I mean, Christina works with me basically 6 to 7 hours a day. She covers the things that I can't, so which gives me more time to do other stuff that I probably wouldn't have taken on had I not had her here. But it gives me a chance to let her do the things she can do, which frees me up. I mean, when this started, I would have never had time to drop out 30 to 45 minutes a day to do something like this. It
Mhm.
just wouldn't have happened. So it works well. Right now, I don't know what I would do without somebody here, because it's very convenient. She does do some side gigs, and we work that into our time. So I know, like, she'll leave tomorrow at 12, and I realize that. So I've got to, anything I need to delegate to her, I need to get it done prior to 12. And you have to think a little bit. It's kind of like juggling again,
But
but you get you get where you rely on it. I will tell you, it's really great though. I advise anybody that's too busy to get somebody to help them.
But isn't it funny, at first, you were so adamant about it. I remember your frustration, because you're like, I don't know what I want her to do. But I remember I've had people come over to clean my house at times. And one, it keeps me accountable. So I do like that. But the other thing is, I do that thing of, oh, they can do this because I don't really like to do this, but I can wash my clothes and I can do this. And it really does help you say what you have to ask yourself, what's worth not doing? Like, I'll clean and do everything else, but I'm like, I am not scrubbing my floors. I will have somebody come in just to scrub the floors and disinfect, but they don't have to do everything else. I know what I can do, or willing to do, or I don't mind to do. So I know that I think it's funny because, now once you got out of your own way, having that attitude about it, it's amazing how you didn't think of the problem of, oh, I don't want her to do this, and oh, it's going to be frustrating to train somebody. Once you let go of the issues, you were able to all of a sudden be creative with the whole idea, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been self-employed since I was 24. So
Mhm.
we're nowhere near 24 anymore. Now I've had housekeepers pretty much most of those years. So the house was taken care of. We can do this, but what else do I let anybody do? I was spending more time wondering, and I'm telling everybody not to do this. I was spending more time wondering what I could have her do than realizing that she could take little pieces of a load off each day.
Yeah.
And it right now we're pretty good. Some days we get done early, but most of them are full days, and I do appreciate her being here.
No,
And
absolutely.
some days I think I need two. Not going there, but um, it's the way things work. Jerry and I both are at an age now. There's things we cannot do,
Yeah.
not don't want to, and that was a lot of it for me. There's positions the body don't get in that they get ready for it that they don't used to do, and it's nice to have somebody to pick up that slack, especially without having to call my kids ever. Can you come over one day next week and help me? It's nice to keep it done.
And again, it was just the mindset that I've seen you evolve in that situation, which I thought it was great for people.
Change.
What's that?
I change a
Yes, you
little.
did. That's what exactly. But the life moment was, is if you kept staying in that mindset, here's a year later, you'd be like, oh my gosh, Lynn, I'd be frazzled. And I just seen how it it helped you so much in the long run. So just remember, take life at this moment the way it is. And I'm excited to say that tomorrow I get to, Debbie and I on the Lynn and Debbie show, we get to interview you. I'm going to have Debbie ask some questions, and I'm just going to be the sidekick, and we're going to have some fun and get to know a little bit more about Sheryl. So this was kind of nice to warm you up and Sheryl the way she thinks. And she is a Zig Ziglar coach, and she's an amazing person. You guys have no idea what kind of royalty we have in this lady and who she is. And she's a no nonsense, cut to the chase. She's really helped sculpt me to just, you know, um, feel better to just get shit done. So I want to thank everybody that's been here and watching and on the replay. And we're going to close out with the little vision here of us tomorrow. That's where we're going to be. And tomorrow it's going to be at noon time tomorrow. So we hope to see you there. And I'm going to oh shoot, I didn't have my outro out here. So I'm going to just leave this here, you guys. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.